Hello everyone and welcome back to Tea Time Crochet. Today we're going to be doing this basket weave headband or ear warmer, whatever you prefer to call it. But it's really nice and snuggly, and it's wide enough to cover, your ears and a good portion of your head. But this matches the cowl that we made this week too. It would make a really nice a gift set for Christmas, and this will be the third and final gift set for my gift giving series for Christmas. And you have plenty of time to still be able to whip these two things up. This probably, if I didn't have to film it, would probably take me about an hour, this headband. The cowl would probably would have been a couple hours, but you could easily just, whip it up in a day, and then you would have a gift to give. And it's made out of bulky yarn, so it's nice and squishy. And the pattern is completely adjustable to whatever size head that you're wanting to make it for. The only thing you have to keep in mind is it has to be a multiple of 8. I don't think that I mentioned in the beginning of the tutorial, this is about 1 skein of yarn, probably a little less, and then I believe the cowl I used about 2 skeins, a little less than 2 skeins, but yeah, I really like it. It's really neat looking and very textured. So I'll get to the tutorial now. Okay, for our headband today we're going to be using the same yarn that we used for the cowl. So I'm going to be using this green yarn, and once again it's by the Yarn Bee, and it's Tender Touch in the color Willow, and it is a number 5 super bulky. So any number 5 super bulky will work. It calls for a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, so that's what we're going to be using today. So a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a yarn needle with a large eye, and a tape measure. And I'm going to start off by saying I'm sorry if you can hear that noise that's in the background. It was a little too cold out in my craft room to be filming today, so I'm in my living room, but I do have the dryer going. So if you hear that noise, that's what it is. So to start off with, you're going to need to find out the measurement that you need. So you're going to need to measure the circumference of your head. And I'll go ahead and do mine real quick. So mine is 21 inches. So I know that my headband needs to be, it's going to stretch quite a bit, so I'm probably going to do 20 to 21 and a half inches, or 20 to 20 and a half inches. Since we're going to be using the basket weave stitch, I have the cowl here, and you can see that it stretches quite a bit. So we want it to be able to, be snug on our head and not slip off. So I'll probably be doing anywhere from 20 inches to 20 and a half inches. But what we're going to start off with is we're going to start off with a foundation double crochet. Just like the cowl, we're going to be working it pretty much the same, other than we're doing a smaller piece. And we're using the hook that it recommends, so it's not going to be loose. So I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to go back into this first chain, and I'm going to pull up a loop, and then I'm going to yarn over and just pull through that one loop, and then I'm going to finish out my double crochet as normal. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So what that does is it creates our foundation chain and our first row of double crochet all in one. So you're going to yarn over and you're going to go back into that chain stitch that you made, pull up a loop, and then you're going to chain 1, and then yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're just going to continue doing our foundation double crochet until our piece measures the length that we need it to be. So I would probably do 1/2 inch to 1 inch smaller than what your head circumference is, because like I said, the stitch that we're doing is going to stretch quite a bit. So what you need to do is, go ahead and do that amount and then wrap it around your head and see if it fits comfortably. And if you need to go up a little bit more, you can. But go ahead and do all your foundation double crochets, and then I will meet up with you when I have completed mine. One thing I forgot to mention is you want your foundation double crochet to be a multiple of 8. So what I normally do is I just normally count out 8, and then I'll crochet 8 more, and then 8 more, and then 8 more, and that's normally how I count mine. And then once you get close to the number of inches that you need, as long as you have a multiple of 8, you'll be fine. I'm sorry I didn't mention that earlier, it just completely spaced it. But go ahead and do your foundation double crochet with a multiple of 8 and get as close to the number of inches that you need, and then I will meet back up with you. Okay, I completed mine, and I have a total of 56 stitches. Strangely enough, that's exactly the same number for the cowl that we did, but since we're using a smaller crochet hook, it's going to fit just fine. But I did measure 20 inches, and I did test it around my head, and it sat comfortably. So now what we're going to do is we're going to join to the beginning of this first double crochet that we have here. With a slip stitch. And you just want to pull that tight. And then I'm going to just attach this bottom piece real quick. This yarn does not like to go through the needle, just kind of squishes up at the tip. So I'm just going to pull that tight to where it meets, and then I'm just going to tie a little knot in it. Don't worry about having a knot in it, no one's going to notice, it's on the inside, but the whole point is just to secure this bottom. And there may be other ways of doing it, but this is how I do it. Excuse that, my background keeps flopping down. Like I said, I'm not in my craft room, so I kind of had to make a makeshift table here to do my tutorial on. So now that that's just secure, we can hide it at the very end. Okay, to start our basket weave pattern, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet around this first stitch. Now it's the stitch that our chain 1 is attached to. So we're just going to do a front post, double crochet, and we're going to do that in the next 3 stitches. So once again we're using the pattern is 4 stitches front post, 4 stitches back post, just like the cowl that we did, but this is going to be quite a bit smaller than that. But it's totally the same concept. So we've done our 4 front post. Now we're going to do, in the next 4 stitches, we're going to do 1 back post double crochet in each one of the next 4 stitches. Okay, so there's our 4 back post, and you can see the ridge that it creates. And then the next 4 will be 4 front post, and then 4 back post, and we're just going to continue in this pattern all the way around. And you should end on 4 back posts since we started with a front post. If you don't, then your count is off. So I'm going to go ahead and do mine, and you go ahead and just work in the same pattern, alternating every 4 stitches from front post to back post, and then I will meet up with you when I have completed my last stitch. Okay, here's my last set of 4, and it is a back post. So I'm going to put 1 back post in each one of those stitches. Just like that, and then we're going to slip stitch to join in the top of this double crochet here, and that starts the pattern for this set. So we are going to do 3 more rows of 4 stitches of front post and 4 stitches of back post repeated, and so we're going to do 3 more rows of that, and then we're going to slip stitch to join in the top of each beginning double crochet, just like we have done. So go ahead and complete the next 3 rows in the same pattern we just established, and then we'll work on the second pattern. Okay, I finished all of my rows, so you should have a total of 4 rows, not counting the foundation double crochet row that we did. And a good way to know is to count these ridges right here. So there's, in the back posts, they create these ridges, and once you have 4 of those ridges, you know that you're at 4 rows. So here's where the pattern reverses itself. So on all of the front post, we're going to put back post, and all of the back post, we're going to put front post. So once again, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put a back post around the front post, which can be a little tricky on this first one. Okay, so there's our 4 front posts, or back post I mean, on our front post, and then we need to put front post on the 4 back post. So just like that. So see how we're reversing the pattern, and that's what kind of gives you that blocked effect. that the basket weave has. So we're just going to continue in this pattern just like we did before. Every 4 stitches, we're going to start with back post for 4 stitches, front post for 4 stitches, and then back post, and then front post, just like we have done before, other than it's just reversed. So I'm going to go ahead and go do all of mine, and I will meet up with you when I have finished this row. Okay, I've completed my row, so we're just going to slip stitch to join right here at the top of this double crochet, this first double crochet. And then we're going to be working 3 more rows in the established pattern that we have just made. So just like before, but using this pattern that we just did, we're going to be doing 3 more rows. And this is going to be quite a wide headband, but I think it'll be nice. It'll be nice and snuggly, and it'll keep your ears warm. And the set will make a great gift. So and they're really easy to work up. So you're going to need to chain 1, and then we're going to do a back post double crochet around that back post, and then 1 back post double crochet around each of the next back post stitches. So just like that, 4 back posts. And now we're going to be working on whatever the pattern is. So if we have back post, we're going to be doing back post. If we have front post, we're going to be doing front post. So, and then in the next 4, we're going to be doing 1 front post double crochet in the next 4. And we're just going to repeat that for the next, you're going to finish out this row, and then you're going to do 2 more. So when you have 4 of these ridges here, you'll know that you completed your 4 rows. So go ahead and go do that, and then I will meet up with you when I have completed all of mine. Okay, so I have my last 4 stitches here, which are front post. And then we're going to slip stitch to the top of this first double crochet here. And this is what you should have. And we're going to fasten off here because we are finished. Make sure you leave a long enough tail to weave in at the end. And that is what it looks like. It's a fairly wide headband. I'll measure it real quick. It's almost 4.5 inches wide. So it'll be nice. It'll cover your ears and keep most of your head warm. But I think they're really, really nice. I like the texture of this stitch. And it's pretty different. I've not seen too many headbands made out of this. Or for that matter, I don't think I've seen any headbands made out of this, but I hope you like it and have a good day.